What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Make sure this bad boy is cooking. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Make sure the audio's going before we hop in here today. All right. Let's see here. All right. So today we'll be talking about FBA versus FBM, kind of what those mean, what they are, what you use them for. Even if you are FBA, what you can use FBM for, and to kind of just help out, right? Some little tricks I've used for FBM in the past as well. I mainly do FBA, but we'll go through both here. Excuse me. And then what's the best business model for a new seller? Um, yeah. So we'll go through here today as well as Q&A. So we have quite a few questions here to go over. I have not had internet in like 2 weeks. I've had like just a work off of hotspots essentially. They had to go in and essentially drill under the home, under the driveway to get internet into here, which is not completely done, but at least we have something cooking for right now, at least to get these live streams back and going. So I'll go over a few more questions here today than usual, just to make sure I make up for that a little bit. Let's check. All right, cool. All right, guys. So let's talk about FBA versus FBM. Okay, so FBA meaning fulfillment by Amazon, FBM meaning fulfillment by merchant. Okay, so FBA, what that means is Amazon actually fulfills your packages. So what we do is we ship those into Amazon, our product, and Amazon will go ahead. If we go look at let's see here, look at Prime here. Let me log out of this. Oh, that should be fine actually. So if we look into here, this tablet here, we could see try. I don't have a Prime account on this. This is the burner account. But anyways, you can get this in 2 days shipping. It's in Amazon's catalog versus FBM. Let's go to a different. Let's go to like toilet paper here. That'd be a good example. So like Quilted Northern Ultra Plush here. So we go in here. Looks like Amazon's exclusively selling this, but actually you can see this too right over here. So Amazon.com. So ships from Amazon.com, sold by Amazon.com. So that's just Amazon selling the product. But anyways, ships from Amazon.com, meaning FBA. So again, it's in its fulfillment center. It's been shipped in, and Amazon will handle the fulfillment, everything like that. I'll make sure my face isn't in the way for the second one here. It is a little bit. So we'll go center of the screen, be fancy. So we see right here, ships from 442 Laramere Inc., sold by same person here. So when it says shipped from an actual, something that doesn't say Amazon.com, that's FBM. That means they have their own warehouse. So they're shipping it from home, whatever it may be, right? So that's what that means. So FBM, fulfillment by merchant, means essentially just you're shipping it from home. So you get an order in, and then Amazon will tell you got that order in, and then you'll go ahead and send that in yourself. They'll give you the address. You'll ship a printing label on Amazon, then you'll send that out. This is good if you're just testing products out. So say you're doing like retail arbitrage, you don't want to send to FBA and everything like that. You could sell this and ship it off from your house. FBA does convert better because again, it's in 2 days shipping. Amazon handles the fulfillment, and it's just better for that. They'll actually in your buy box too. So if you got a product that has 40 sellers on it, they'll shift to the buy box, and the FBA ones will get more of an incentive because again, quicker shipping times. Amazon knows it's going to convert better. So FBA is 99% of what I do. Again, I want to be hands off. I don't want to worry about shipping. If I scale to with FBM, you're going to have to get a team, a warehouse to get that sent out all the time. So again, FBA is what we can do to scale, especially in the private label space, right? Which we'll talk about Amazon business models here in a second. But in private label, when we make our own products, essentially, we send 1,000 in. We don't want to have thousands of units at home to get the ship out, right? And we want to make sure we convert the best as well. So we want that FBA to give us the best chance to compete with others. Now, when have I done FBM? So I've sold books when I first started. I've been in the space for 6 years now. I sold used books. We did the FBM, did some retail arbitrage, things like that, online arbitrage. So FBM kind of works out for that. We've also done FBM. So we had a product that was doing like $100,000 days, and we ran out of stock. So what we did, a little trick here for you guys, and I don't recommend this unless this scenario happens to you guys where you're just going bonkers with sales. But what we did is essentially put things on back order with FBM. So we told Amazon that, hey, we'll ship these things out, but it's going to take us 3 weeks to ship out. So we had orders come in, and then once the inventory got in, we sent some back into FBA and also kept some at the home. And we shipped out all those FBM orders that were lagging behind. I don't recommend that. It probably wasn't worth the squeeze because it ended up taking us like 6 straight days of sleepless night just packing these products up and then pushing them out. The post office hated us because we'd come in at like 5 p.m. when they closed, and we had to go in their back and get their big cart, and we just fill it up, and take it back there at the end of the day, and they'd yell at us and stuff. But anyways, that's when I use FBM. Some other things you could do FBM for, so like heavier stuff. So Amazon fees for like weights and stuff like that. Like it doesn't make sense to do FBA. You have to do FBM in those sense as well. So if you have a team too as well, so if you want to control shipping, control your packaging, control the fulfillment, and you had a team in place too already before you start selling on Amazon, FBM might be the way to go. But again, FBA is going to rank better. It's going to convert better. And of course, if the fees make sense, that's great there too, but it's just going to push more volume for you. So that's the big deal with FBA and FBM there. Now, talking about the best business models that kind of start with Amazon when you first start to sell. Of course, I'm a little biased. I mainly do private label. Actually, I do exclusively only private label anymore. But I've tried wholesale, I've tried retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, reselling books, things like that. Now, to go through all these models here, we have retail arbitrage, which is where you just go to the clearance rack at Walmart, Goodwill, whatever it is, kind of scan the product, see what they're selling on Amazon. You can make $4 and difference because you buy it for $2 on Goodwill or whatever. Then you can resell it on Amazon for $20. You get to keep the difference, after FBA fees. So maybe you get like $6 there, $4 there, whatever it may be. That's retail arbitrage. You could start that way to get some experience, kind of see how the process works, but it's impossible to scale unless you had a warehouse with teams and had the ability to, in the network, to essentially get these exclusive deals coming in with crates of goods that are just that you need to sort through, everything like that. Wholesale is where you like this toilet paper, right? So you go to Quilted Northern and you tell them, hey, like we want to be a wholesaler for you. So essentially you're an online Walmart or online CVS, whatever it is for Quilted, and you just want to sell on the listing, get permission for that. It's hard to get permission from a lot of these bigger ones that actually push volume. Amazon looks like they have exclusive kind of rights there for this, but if we go back, I'm sure we can find, AngelSoft here. Let's go down. That's sold by Amazon. We see 6 people on this buy box here. So essentially that's all Amazon warehouse. That's returns. Let's go back. Looks like Amazon's dominating the toilet paper space. So 4 people on here, sold by Amazon. Okay. So maybe toilet paper is not the best to look at here. Shipped. Sold by Amazon. Okay. Let's go Colgate toothpaste. That's what I'm saying. It's getting harder and harder to do wholesale. And you have to buy large amounts of quantities to be respected. You have to have networks with these people. Okay, so sold by RPJ. And we see 6 new sellers here. And we see, ships from Amazon, but from different sellers. That's wholesale. So you're competing for this buy box to be up here. And so you're splitting time on this listing, which is really tough. Obviously that moves volume, and then the margins are usually a little smaller for wholesale, right? You're usually working on 10%, maybe 15%, maybe a little less, and you're just pocketing the difference, right? You're essentially a middleman for the brand, right? Because the brand wants their cut, Amazon wants their cut, and you're just kind of selling in between here. So that's what wholesale is. Online arbitrage is just like retail arbitrage, where you go to deal sites and buy products from that. You can also drop ship, but that's, again, Amazon hates drop shippers. They'll do anything to ban that. So if you get caught, you're kind of screwed there. It's really hard to kind of trick their system into allowing that to happen. Where private label, I like private label because we're dealing with higher margins, right? 30 to 40% margins, maybe 20% when you first start, depends on how many you order, right? Because you order 200 units, that's a really small order. So you shouldn't expect 20% margins right away. But if you say start ordering 1,000, 2,000, like you should be closer and get better bulk pricing to, get that 30% margins, whatever it is, right? Depends on the market you go into. And hopefully we're only picking things that have that margin in there. as well. So private label, FBA, kind of that stack is kind of where I want to go. Again, if you want to just get your start, you can look into retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, but harder scale, smaller margins. With private label, you can actually build a brand, build bigger margins, build a product line, eventually get that bought out by someone if you want. If you want a big sell at the end, you can essentially or eventually start your own website, Shopify, whatever it is, to get sales there. And you can have a real brand presence that can build like a real asset year after year. So branding and private label is kind of where I go at and what I recommend for people to start. But again, if you say have a budget of $500, probably start in retail arbitrage, work your way up until you can, get to $3,000 to $5,000 for private label. Let's see if we're still working here. Yep, still going here. Let's get into the questions here today, and we'll be doing these on Thursday now. And you guys want dibs on first dibs on questions here. Just make sure you get in the Facebook group to get that going. So we have Oscar here. Been selling for 3 months, 1 to 4 units a day, but can't seem to get ACoS down. It's currently at 51%. It's been hard to do so. I have 26 reviews. I have optimized for campaigns several times. Tips, please. Yeah, depending on your competition, Oscar, 26 reviews for 3 months. I'd like to see this number pop up a little bit more. I'd like to have you at 50, 60, 70 reviews before you really can tell what's going on there. Eventually to 100 reviews. So just keep grinding for reviews, man. Keep grinding. That's going to be the biggest tip there. You can look into, building review systems, things like that. So, having a PDF guide, QR code that goes to it, getting email lists, things like that. Maybe Instagram as well, Facebook group, where you can actually talk to people who buy your product off of Amazon and ask for, of course, an unbiased review. Friends and family, obviously, if you got more resources to tap into that, that's fantastic too. David Michael, hey Cameron, I'm in the process of registering for an Amazon seller account, but I'm stuck on section regarding the credit card. It's asking for a cardholder name, and I'm not sure what to enter here. Should my name or the company or my own name? If you're doing a company on your seller account and you have a company credit card, like it's a business credit card, put the company name. But if it's a personal credit card, put your name that matches the seller identification. Bailey Whitmore. 1, should I do brand registry before I list my product? I already have a trademark number and everything. Yeah, might as well get that up and going. 2, can you still create your listing while waiting to approve for brand registry, or should I wait? So you can approve your listing as soon as you get brand approval, which is different than brand registry. So my tip is to make your listing, go through brand approval, and then file for brand registry. And yes, you can create your listing before you have any of that. Perry Cambo. Hi Cameron, does in-stock rate affect your IPI score? Yes, it does. I will have some out-of-stock products with no inventory to send, so I closed the listings. Will the closing out stock listings count? It does a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Compared to everything else, it's minuscule. Where IPA really gets affected is you have too much inventory in stock. You can close your listings, but again, I wouldn't worry about this. Again, the bigger thing is leaving too much inventory in there for too long. Jana Denbo. Hi Cameron, I'm launching my first product. Congrats. And I'm about to get a trademark. While I'm waiting on shipping, I'm researching other products for my next one. Does it go through getting another trademark for the next item? This product is going to be completely different from my first one. Yeah, you might have to, depending on what category it's in, but yeah, if the brand name doesn't match up anyways with the product, just doesn't align, then yes. But if you can get it work with the same trademark, fantastic. Charles Rogers, what type of liability insurance should one carry? I use Next Insurance. Is there a way to sell FBA using Amazon stock without buying it first? What? No. I'm not sure what that means, but if it's meant the way it's said, then no, that doesn't exist. 3, in a marketing development, when should one consider branding? So I like to brand right away. But again, there's different levels of branding, right? When I say branding on Amazon, I'm just meaning like the lowest levels of it. You're listing your product with a brand name. So you're getting brand approval at least, and hopefully brand registry with the trademark. And then after that, branding can look like better images that are congruent with your brand. You have a brand kind of language, like you're speaking a certain way in your listing. You're being playful, or maybe your brand voice is you're aggressive or more military, like things like that. Then all the way to your product packaging, and then onto social media, your website, things like that. So take it slow, and then you kind of build your brand over time. So you don't need to do everything Apple does right away when you first start your product. Next, Kennedy Ash. Hello. Followed your instructions on filling Alibaba tax exemption form or business is registered in Arizona. Excuse me. So after form completion, the system says our system will recognize you as tax exempt buyer in 15 minutes. In the future, you will not be charged sales tax order, aka Arizona. What happens if the shipment goes to a different state? You're fine. Um, yeah, you're good to go. You don't need to worry about that. Would it work to send a manufacturer a 5000A form? I'm not sure what that is. So you're just buying in Arizona, like you're from Arizona, so you're exempt from that. But your company's in Arizona, so essentially you're just not paying sales tax in that state, right? So obviously I'm not a CPA expert and I'm not thinking totally clear today, but I'm probably explaining this poorly. But once you're good to go there, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Dave Peters, hello Cameron. Thanks for help with answering the questions. I'm getting sales for my product, but when I check PPC, the sale didn't generate from there. How is this possible? You sold one organically, man. Dave Peters, would you recommend pausing PPC to optimize your listing for reasons such that I'm mostly getting clicks but no sales and costs through the roof? Any guidance in the matter? Yeah. If you're getting no sales, then you can like slow it down, taper it. I would, work on your listing, get your conversion rate up, add a coupon, get reviews up, things like that. You can pause for the little bit, but I like to have a little PPC going all the time. Oscar Leon, do we have to inspect the goods every time we make a new order? No, if you trust your manufacturer, you should be good. But usually for the first 2 to 3, I do, especially if I go from buying 1,000 units to 2,000 units and I'm scaling with the manufacturer. I want to go get inspection done because sometimes at scale, their things can break. I'm worried about because Oscar again. I'm worried because my product hasn't ranked as well. I thought it would be. Most of my sales are for PPC. It's been a few months. Any advice? I'm overthinking a lot. Again, I think your reviews are too low, man, to have a stable conversion rate. Lynn Griffin, I'm getting ready to send my first FBA shipment to Amazon. Has anyone used manufacturer barcodes with FBA virtual tracking, or do most of you use print and apply Amazon barcodes myself option? I like the FNSKU. I don't like the manufacturer barcodes FBA virtual tracking. Again, you could try it out if you like. You're just using the UPC code instead of the FNSKU, but I prefer the FNSKU. But I really haven't dug into FBA virtual tracking. That's good or not. Why I like the FNSKU is because they know who the seller is as well as the product. And when there's people selling counterfeit goods, you have different FNSKUs, right? Even with the same product. With the UPC code, it's literally the same exact barcode. So it's harder to identify counterfeit. Brian Butcher, Good Friday all question. Amazon has suspended my account. Maybe go through re-verification. I have a product listing with inventory loading in. Still have the dog page. Seller support told me that I need to delete and release my product to get rid of the error. My account has been reactivated. Would it be best to do this? How would I manage the inventory of the product taken off and then relisted? It should be fine because when you relist, you should have the same FNSKU, same ACE, and everything like that. So, and yes, to unlock your description, you need to talk to the catalog team. Oscar, how do we keep track of profit margin? I'm selling around 100. Use Helium 10 Profit Tracker to track your profits. King Audubon, hey Cameron, quick question on polybag warning labels. My actual packaging is a carton box. In a box, my product will be clear polybag or bubble wrap. Does this bag need a warning label? You know, it's not the main package. Yes, it needs a warning label. Only ask because I've ordered. Yep, it needs any polybags in your products. I would just get a warning label on them. Kennedy Ash, hi Cameron. On the basis of your listing running out of inventory, will the Amazon algorithm stop working, kick you out if you run out? So essentially, your listing will just disappear when you're out of stock. It won't be available on Amazon's website. You can close your listing or you can just leave it open. You can close your listing to kind of help try to preserve your BSR, your best selling rank. You could stop PPC, but again, it's not going to go until, they ask right here, should we stop PPC? It's going to stop as soon as you run out of product. So again, you can tailor it down as you get low in inventory because it's going to be less efficient, but will be difficult to get the Amazon algorithm working for the listing again. It'll be you'll need to jump start it. So as soon as I get restocked in from been out, I want to push sales as fast as I can to recapture that BSR. Time when it makes sense start over with a new listing or fight the algorithm. Don't make a new listing. You have better BSR even when you run out of stock than creating a new listing altogether. Dave Peters, I'll answer a few more here. Again, I'm going to do the ones, the likes, the ones, the upvotes. After launching your product, how do you evaluate whether you selected the wrong product or when do you say to yourself, I think I selected the wrong product? It depends. This is so variable, Dave. Usually when I get to like 50 to 100 reviews and my competition only has like 400, 500 reviews and I'm still not selling, then I kind of I reevaluate there. But if my competition has 2,000 reviews, I only have 100, then, and I'm trying to do this product long term and I'm doing the long game, then it's like, I haven't really given this product a fair shot yet. Also, if my reviews tank to like 1 star, I have 31-star reviews or something like that right away, then obviously you've messed up and got to restart. Let's see, ones with the likes. Daniel here. Hey, Cameron, I was looking for some advice for my Amazon product. Initially, when I created my product, I had it under a generic brand. The product has done well and sold out, so I'm restocking the product, planning on creating a separate color variation of the product. Was Amazon let me create a variation for the upcoming product using the original generic brand product? Yes, it should. Ideally, would I like to keep the reviews that I built new color variation? My other option was to create a whole separate listing with new product color variation, but have brand registered name rather than a generic. The products in home decor space. Looking forward to hear your advice and feedback. So Daniel, definitely, if you want to keep your reviews, definitely list underneath that brand. You could definitely do another variation under there. You could try to contact support to change generic to your actual brand name, but you're most likely going to need a trademark and photos of your product with that brand name on it. And you're going to have to call probably like 17 times until you find the right rep that can actually help you. Perry Cambo, hey Cameron, do you have any tips or advice on how our invoices should be formatted to be accepted by Amazon? Increasingly, Amazon is rejecting valid invoices even though they meet all the requirements. Everything matches exactly what they were asking for. Is there any additional information we should include on there they're not telling us? Was the exact format they were looking for? It would be helpful. You can make an in-depth video sometime showing an example how an invoice should look to pass Amazon's strict verification process. Thank you. So for the invoices, it's tough because you could submit a fully souped up one, everything's by the book, and they don't accept it, then you put it in again and a different rep sees it and then they accept it. So it's definitely gray area for sure. Biggest things for me, I need my brand name on it. Depends on what you're submitting it for too. My brand name on it, either the name of the LLC that my account's underneath, needs to have my billing address on it. I like to include the phone number that's on the account, as well as anything that indicates the items. So maybe the FN SKU or SKU number is attached or in the columns of the product that I've bought, with that product listed out with the title similar to the actual product on Amazon. As well as I like to have some indication that this is a paid invoice and not an open invoice. So those are the biggest things for me. All right, guys. Any questions in the chat? Akeem, what's going on, man? Thanks for the live session. You're welcome. Let's see. I'm losing money on PPC. This is Akeem again. I'm losing money on PPC campaign, but it's high. Conversion rate is low. Competitive product. How do I find sweet spot for bids so that I don't lose money too quick? So just keep your budget down. I would add a coupon to your listing to see if there's you can get a little bit more impulse buy. Check your pricing versus the rest of the field. Check your photos. Check your conversion rate on your business reports too. If you're like under, 10%, 8%, 7%, you have work to do. That's why PPC isn't working. Usually not a PPC problem. It's usually a conversion rate problem. It could be because your competition has thousands of reviews or hundreds of reviews and you have 2, right? Who's the customer going to pick? The product with 1,000 reviews, the product with 2? They're always going to pick the one with 1,000, right? So sometimes you just need to work on your listing, invest in reviews, whether it's Vine program, whether it's friends and family, whether it's building a review system, whether it's just grinding it out more time to request more reviews on the back end, and as well as working and investing in your photos, your title, your description, your bullets, your A+ content, things like that, right? If your PPC isn't working, you're still doing it. I recommend a little PPC always, but it's never a sweet spot in bids. Like the data will tell you everything you need to know if you're working back there. But if the issue is you can bid whatever you want and still can't get any conversions, it's a conversion rate problem, not a PPC problem. And so you need to address that. If you're still having issues with that and want to drive traffic faster, then I look for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, some additional traffic source there that you can kind of bootstrap. Cool, guys. That is it. We're going to keep doing these on Thursdays now. Get your questions in the Facebook group. The link's down in the description. Yeah, guys, good talking to you, and we'll see you on the next one.